Oh my god. Yeah,
He's
Yeah,
on.
good.
He's on. Jeff, join us, man.
Jeff, buddy.
Jeff.
Yeah, man.
Jeff.
Can you get DeAndre Baker today?
I want your
Who? Yes, for DeAndre Baker. Let's start it off with that.
I think he's a little tied up. I think he used his phone call already.
Oh
snap.
no. Oh, and Quentin Dunbar, dumbass.
Is that just for sport? Like, if you do that at that level?
No, like, so apparently they were trying to get money back that they lost the previous night, or they were trying to recoup money. But I'm kind of like, bro, if you lose $70,000 and you are scheduled to make $9 million.
Who's this?
Oh, there's our special guest.
If OJ cannot steal his own memorabilia back, then you're not
Neither
getting
can
whatever
you.
money
Yeah,
you want.
seriously. And who cares? You got $9
look
million
at
coming.
Exactly.
Look at that lawn.
Now look at that lawn.
Hey guys, what's up? Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers,
man. Presidente, I like it.
That's funny.
What's everybody?
Hey, so Mike, where are you working from, man? Are you from your garage or your office?
It's actually from a dungeon. Yeah.
Hell, I like the hat, Corey. Where you at? There you are.
Shut up, man. Stupid. You can't even see what's on my hat, bro.
Is that a Mets hat?
Oh,
God,
no. Oh, my God.
Man.
What's everybody drinking?
Steve, you look like if A-Rod got Corona.
Yeah, seriously. You look like COVID A-Rod.
With this.
This is Sunny Slope Winery.
See, I'm Malik Smith, not Alex. I'm Alex Rodriguez.
It's Steve Rod. Go ahead.
Oh, Ty's got the wine glass.
That's what I'm saying. I got Sunny Slope. It's some peach wine.
I got some
basic.
Yo, stop talking. I'm already disappointed in you. I'm already disappointed, bro.
I know. Just for you. Just for you.
Thanks, man. Jeez.
Hey, Mike, I thought you'd have more people on. You said there would be about 20 people.
These are all small businesses, S-Rod.
Okay. So how you guys been doing? How you keeping busy?
Talking to guys like you.
Right. I thought I'd get a better reception, me joining in here. So you're waiting for me here. But
Well, if we would have gotten J-Lo in the action.
You definitely should get 2 hot dogs and tape them together and just stick them in the very corner of the feed, because we're pretty sure, in my version of the story, those were J-Lo's knees when A-Rod was there. I don't know whose knees they were.
It was Elizabeth Powers.
Listen, not in my story. It was J-Lo.
Wait, she was there with him?
Somebody's kneecaps were poking out the bottom right-hand corner of the box, and I'm going to say it was J-Lo.
Yeah, man, you really studied the film, bro.
Cheers, guys.
No, I told you, man.
Cheers.
Cheers. I told you my dick was ready to come out, man. I was ready for J-Lo.
Hey, look, I don't know about all that, but I have A-Lo. I have A-Lo, not J-Lo.
Oh, okay. Well, tell A-Lo I said hi. I respect her too much, so.
I will tell A-Lo that.
Yeah. Can we see A-Lo's knees? That's what we need to know.
Yeah,
no, but I'll probably be seeing them later on.
We're live, folks, so that just happened.
So I want to ask you, one, S-Rod, you have given Presidente a bigger shout out than A-Rod ever did, because I've seen it every single time you talk. So.
Well, I do like Presidente. It is from the Dominican Republic, where my parents are from.
Isn't that where all those tourists died and got murdered too? Isn't that where that's at?
I don't know anything about that, but
okay.
I do know about the beer, and I'm enjoying it. So cheers, guys.
Oh my God, Jamal! Like that. First off, I pretty much grew up in a Dominican household, and that was Archie's house.
Last summer, wasn't that where all the tourists were just mysteriously dying? What am I saying?
I think it was Mexico. It
was the R.
Like,
I think it was but I'm saying I think it was a few places. Like there was like a handful of places in like
my
South
man
America.
Big Papi got shot in the Puerto Rico. I mean, life just
Jamal the
got
asshole,
crazy.
like pointing out things, the dangerous.
No, I'm not calling you an asshole. I didn't call you an asshole, man.
Nobody goes.
I'll call him an asshole for you, Mike. He's an asshole.
Yeah, seriously.
Listen, seriously.
And
So what's
I love you guys. What's up
with the germ? I thought people were trying to avoid germs lately. We got the germ on here. What's going on? Are we trying to stay safe or what?
No, never.
Well, that's why he's off by himself, and
Yeah. I'm
Look,
most
so
are you quarantined?
if
he's
you're
in cartoon land, and the rest of us are in the real world.
if you're
Not
watching if you're watching and you want to join our Zoom, the link's on there. Also, we do have a special guest joining in around 5:30. He's a current NFL football player who just started a podcast with the Give Us a Shot Network. So if you know anything about the Give Us a Shot Network, you know who's coming on. But also, we'd love to have your feedback on social media. I want to get into our first topic, and Jamal, take it away.
Bro, everybody's coming out with these top 5 lists, and NBA is coming back. So everybody, of course, is dropping their meaningless top 5 players of all time list because it's all subjective. So I'm going to give you my top 5 NBA players. All right.
Let me get a pen.
Get a pen and write it down. All right. And then I'm just going to give you the top 5. And if you have any objections or why I place this person or who I'm missing, go ahead. I'm telling you right now, LeBron's not on this list.
Thank you. Anyone that played after 2000 shouldn't be on the list.
Well, Michael Jordan obviously is the best player that's ever. If you didn't even know about Michael Jordan and you've watched his documentary so far, and you walk away from any other opinion that Michael Jordan's not the greatest player to ever touch a basketball, then I don't know what you're doing. Then I have Mike and Ty. You made me go back and do the research. Magic Johnson's definitely a top 5 player of all time.
Oh, yes.
I'm tripping. Yes. I was tripping. I am so sorry. I'm wrong. Write it down. Record.
He's number 2? He's number 2?
I didn't really rank.
Oh, so you're just saying top 5?
Yeah, I don't know. Like,
so MJ's a GOAT.
MJ's number 1. I don't care.
Right.
I didn't rank
just
yeah. The rest is just however you preference.
Right.
Magic. I could not leave Kobe Bryant off of this list. Kobe's in the top 5 players I've ever seen watch play. I couldn't leave Wilt Chamberlain off this list, and I had Kareem, but I kicked him off because Wilt Chamberlain averaged 50 points. There's no way I'm keeping him off.
That's a great call.
Wilt Chamberlain is the most dominant player. I know Shaq, people will say Shaq, but if you go back and look at some of those Wilt numbers, like he was doing everything and defense. That's the number one thing. Then and for that reason, I have Tim Duncan on this list. Tim Duncan. Because
Mr. Fundamental.
Only because it's your fault, because you made me research Magic Johnson. So now I'm doing a deep dive, and I didn't have Tim Duncan, but then I looked at some of his stuff. Outside of his first year with David Robinson, his team was trash. You know what I mean? Like, he had a bunch of players that weren't that good, and he was carrying them and putting up monster numbers.
I got to say, before anybody else speaks, I know that you probably are the only person that has Duncan in his top 5.
Probably.
Right, yeah, no.
And I'm not mad. I'm not too mad at it. He's the best power forward, I think. I mean, I think we can agree he's the best power forward.
Oh, who cares?
It's Jordan, Magic, Kobe, Duncan, and Wilt. Those are my top 5 players of all time. Like, I
highly disagree. Who's next? Who disagrees the most?
Let's go with the dynamic duo that said they were going to be late today, Corey and William.
I'm sorry, was it a problem that we made it on time?
No,
we wanted anticipation, man. We wanted surprise.
So, Germ, I'm not far from you. I'd go in no particular order, but Jordan, Kobe, Duncan. I would throw LeBron on there. And Magic. I would leave Wilt not in the top 5.
Gotcha.
So you're essentially just replacing LeBron with Wilt with
LeBron.
Yeah. Yeah. Interesting.
Who's next? Who's up?
I can pick one.
Brian, go for it.
I can pick one.
All right. So I don't really watch basketball, but you should
know some players.
I did when I was younger, so a lot of it's going to be kind of biased towards the early 90s into the late 90s. But I got to go with Michael Jordan, number 1. Obviously, but also let's get some love. Magic Johnson. Absolutely Magic Johnson. I mean, not only did he play the way he did and put up the numbers that he did, but also is the only one that could survive AIDS. But he looks better than ever. So you got to give a lot of credit to Magic Johnson. I'm gonna also go with Wilt Chamberlain, because anybody that can score that many points, not only on the basketball court but also in the bedroom, with multiple partners, multiple is understatement of the year.
It is.
He slayed a lot. He slayed a lot of ass.
I'm curious. I don't even know if it's more points or the other thing at this point.
I'm not sure. Women. It's
women 100%.
In point, that's crazy.
Oh,
yeah.
More women than points. I probably.
Yeah.
But hey, great basketball player. You got to give it to him. Can we? And then let's go with Kobe. You know what I mean? I want to go with Kobe in their top 5, just what he was able to do. And you know, in some ways, some of those years, I felt like he was actually carrying the team. I know that sounds crazy because the Lakers always had all-stars, but he definitely carried the team for a while too.
It is not crazy. That is real.
Yeah,
it was always his team. It was like MJ. It was his team.
Absolutely did.
Shaq was a little baby.
So
absolutely. And then I gotta throw LeBron in there too. LeBron. Yeah, LeBron. You know, you got to throw LeBron. But yeah, that's it. That's my 5.
No, you don't.
I mean,
go ahead, Ryan.
No, look, I might as well go next. It's like Steve. I haven't watched basketball since the 90s. You know, I haven't cared about basketball since the 90s, to be quite frank.
Who cares?
Yeah, exactly. Who cares? But look, you know, Jordan got me into the game. You know, Jordan was my favorite player just to watch. And I wasn't, you know, even though I'm from Jersey, I wasn't a Knicks fan. I enjoyed watching good players at that time. So, right. You know, of course, Michael Jordan takes the cake there as the number 1 in my eyes. You know, you got Wilt Still Chamberlain. He's up there with my list. You know, in addition to that, I'm going to throw Larry Bird on the list.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Larry Bird was on my list, Ryan. I'll let you know.
Ryan.
I knocked him off for Kobe, and I had it. Only reason I knocked Larry Bird, he was on my list when I first did it. The only reason I knocked him off is because defense.
Yeah. You only get 5. I get it.
Kobe's
hard.
defense. When it came down to it, Kobe was just such a better defender. Right. Like I feel like Bird was probably more clutch and hit bigger shots, but Kobe's defense was so much better. Like Bird's offense wasn't that much better than Kobe's offense, but Kobe's defense was so much better than Bird's, and that's the only reason I did Bird.
I'll give you that.
I wanted to put him on there, but that when it came down to it, that was my choice.
Finish up, Ryan.
That's a good choice.
I'll give you that, but you know, you got Bird on that list. I'm gonna throw Kareem on that list. Anyone who can play for that long and be that successful, you know, they've earned my respect. You know, because I'm sure he wanted it. But seriously, someone who's been in the league that long could play like deep into his 40s.
Yeah,
and hung with all the young guys.
So I think you pretty much because you said LeBron's in your top 5 too. Is that what you said, Ryan, or no? You said no.
No. I didn't say LeBron at all.
Oh, okay. Who's that?
No,
yeah, because Ryan is real. He knows. Ryan's real. Go ahead, Ryan.
It's Jordan. It's Wilt. It's Bird. It's Kareem. And then number 5 to round it out. I gotta throw Kobe. I do have to throw Kobe on there. I mean, the dude was completely legit.
Yeah.
You know, even though he came in that next era. You know, he was that next generation, but he really led that entire next generation.
He was MJ 2.0. There we go. Special guest of the evening, my man Cody. You there yet?
Nope.
Word.
Gotta turn him on. Yeah, those bows.
He's the new Steve.
No.
He must have bought those bows from PC Richardson.
I'll figure it out.
No, exactly. Steve never joins us. Alex always joins.
Yeah. What's up, Cody?
What's going on, fellas?
We's it going?
We're going over some top 5 players of the NBA.
Who y'all got?
You want to hop right into it right now? I think the Jamal started with MJ, LeBron. I'm sorry.
No, I didn't.
No.
Whoa.
MJ, Magic, Kobe, Wilt, Duncan.
Interesting. Okay.
And then we have some other variations, but you know, we obviously have Kareem thrown in there and Bird thrown in there by Ryan, but we kind of have a bunch of variations of that. What you thinking, Cody? What's your 5 if you had to rip off the top of your head?
So I'm gonna go MJ at 1. I'm gonna go LeBron at 2. I'm gonna go Magic at 3. Then I'm gonna go maybe I'm gonna go Kobe at 4 and Olajuwon at 5.
Okay. Hakeem. Okay. There's another guy.
Okay. All right, Matt.
I think it's crazy that nobody's like mentioned like Kawhi or even Steph Curry.
They haven't done it long enough. They haven't done it.
Yeah. Bring the girls in. Bring some girls in. They'll probably be like Steph and somebody else, right? Bring somebody else in, but
bring some 19-year-old kid in here. He'll say
bring some kids who don't know what they're talking about.
Steph Curry invented basketball. I heard that the other day. Jeez.
Cody's he's part of the network essentially just by affiliation. We're helping Cody and his partner Will with their podcast, the Sideline Sports Story. Sideline Story. and Sideline Story podcast. That's with Will Richardson from the Jags, offensive lineman, and Cody. You guys are longtime friends. So is Will making it on today, or is he tied up?
He told me he was, but that was about an hour ago. So
okay, we'll see. He might be playing Battlezone.
I have no idea.
Or Warzone, not Battlezone, Warzone.
Yeah, he's probably playing Call of Duty or something.
Cody, tell us about your relationship with Will and also the podcast. And
okay, so we go way back to like before high school, middle school. We met in middle school. We've been pretty much best friends ever since. Like hung out all the time. So interesting fact, like my dad was actually our high school football coach. And so like we kind of got closer through that, and then we just remained close all the way through there. So like I listen to podcasts all the time, and one day I was just throwing it out there. He was playing a podcast and asking me, I heard it, and I was like, have you ever thought about us starting one, like being with your platform and things like that, the access to coaches and players that you have? And he was all for it. So that's kind of how we started. And then so we're 3 episodes in of our podcast, and we did an interview with Gardner Minshew, and then 10-year NFL vet Brandon Tate that we released yesterday. So that's kind of where we're at with it, and just learning as we go. But awesome. I want to thank you guys, obviously. I know I've told Ty that on numerous occasions, but thank y'all for everything that y'all did for us.
Thank you.
Of course.
Of course, man. It was so much fun, and you and Ty are like the brains of it, as far as, and like, so I kind of related with Will with the, hey, this is how we have fun during this, right? So, so that's awesome. I'm hooked. We'll put the link up on this feed for your podcast, and just the best of luck, man. Like it's
awesome, man.
So much fun to keep seeing, and I can't wait to see you guys do good things. I can't wait till we could come down there to Florida and hang out with you guys.
Yeah, when things open back up, definitely.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought Florida was open. Florida's not open?
The beaches are open.
Right.
Hey, Cody, do you mind if I ask you a question before you
Yeah.
go? So Cody, is it true that, if a guy like myself coming from the Northeast or anyone from New York, when they take a plane over to Florida, do they actually get quarantined like right off the plane? Is that any truth to that, or is that just?
I don't think that's true. I didn't have it. Like I just flew down there because I live in North Carolina, and I was fine. And then my next door neighbor, they actually just moved to Florida, and they flew, and they're in their house and everything and fine. So I'm not sure.
Well, you hear a lot of things. I mean,
that's your conspiracy sites. Get off the conspiracy sites, man.
Yeah.
No,
don't answer this. Don't answer this.
This was on the real news sites. But I got some information on that because I've been trying to visit my grandmother, and I was told not to do that. Like I was like immediately, like almost like throw the plastic on me as soon as I got off the plane.
Yeah, I have no idea. Now I do know a buddy of mine who he just got stationed in Jacksonville. Now he actually came down there last week, and apparently like he's quarantined for 2 weeks just because he's coming from Michigan. But like I didn't have any issue with it, so I don't know if it's like certain people or I don't know what it is.
Right, someone like me, you think they would do that, or they would do that?
You should be quarantined. You should be quarantined no matter what. Like you should be in solitary forever.
If I'm wearing
in all seriousness,
sunglasses.
I think it really depends on where you're flying in from, because I know if you try to fly out of like Newark or something, they might take that precaution.
If you're flying in from Wuhan, you're probably not going to. You're probably going to score.
If you're flying in from Wuhan, you're not making that like arrival gate. Like
no,
that plane's disappearing over the ocean.
And I'm in Rochelle Park right now, and Rochelle Park is pretty.
You know what though? I'm a little upset I wasn't able to get to my top 5, but I got to get into it because I'm like,
go ahead.
Man. I'm freaking itching. So first of all,
LeBron.
Yes, LeBron's number 1.
LeBron. Jesus Christ, this guy.
No, he's not number 1, but he is number 2.
Oh my.
LeBron's number 2. Wow, MJ, LeBron, Kobe. I think that has to be the 3. MJ, that's the 3-headed monster. MJ, LeBron, Kobe, and then Bird, Kareem. Bird, Kareem is what rounds it out, and I don't know how anybody gets above Bird and Kareem. I'm just really upset that Duncan and Will. I mean, I love Will, but he's playing in a time with like a bunch of people that were Cody's height and Ryan's height. Like, come on, man. Will, first of all, who? Yeah, Kareem was skill.
Will played against Bill Russell and Oscar Roberts. What are you talking?
I'm taking Kareem.
I would put Shaq. I would put Bill over LeBron. You are bugging, bro. This recency bias is unreal. No, LeBron James, this guy was like, first off, LeBron will never make any top 5 that I have because, one, Delonte West would never allow Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant and all the other top 5s that me and Ryan and everybody put on there. We wouldn't let – if Delonte West fucked Kobe's mom, would Kobe leave or Delonte West? We would never –
Wait. Yeah.
Huh?
No, go ahead.
Listen, Michael Jordan and Wilt Chamberlain and Kobe Bryant would never allow J.J. Barea to lock them down in the 2011 NBA Finals and get outplayed by Jason Terry. It will never happen. You notice one thing about my top 5? These players didn't leave their teams to go chase championships and team up with people. LeBron, that's all he's good for. Oh, man, Cleveland, Delonte West, fuck my mom. I got to leave. I'm going to Miami. Fuck that. Oh, man, I'm in Miami. Oh, I want to go home now because Pat Riley won't let my mom sit at courtside, so I'm just going to go back to Cleveland. Fuck Miami.
Hey, Cody, if you and Will ever want to just have a rated R thing, invite Jamal.
I'm guessing Will's on too. By the way, Will's
everybody's joining.
Yeah, I'm on, fellas. I'm sorry, I'm eating my pizza right now, bro. I didn't
enjoy that. Enjoy it, Will.
Real quick, Cody, you said you live in North Carolina. I too live in North Carolina. Whereabouts are you?
Do you know where Greensboro area? I
do.
I'm right in between Greensboro and Durham.
Okay, I'm down in Wilmington, the Wilmington area.
So
okay,
and also we have some Toronto fans in.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey,
NWB from Toronto. So,
yeah,
go.
Hey man, so how's freedom out there in life? Like, is everything unicorns and rainbows as I hear about it up there in Toronto?
Marijuana is legal, so that's one thing.
That's what I'm talking about, man.
I won't speak on that.
Keep eating your pizza, Will.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, don't be James Harrison and say anything.
Do not, and we'll delete it before we ever. Yeah, always. And Matt, you just got done with the session, and now you're here.
I am. Although I couldn't figure out how to make my fancy audio work for Zoom, but
yeah, it's Zoom stuff. I'll help you with that. But yeah, man, welcome back.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yo, Steve.
What's going on, brother?
NWB.
Ryan.
I want to know what your top 5 NBA players are of all time.
This is the age-old question.
It's got to be Kawhi.
Yeah, I'm about to say Kawhi better be on your list, right?
Well, Kawhi is the best player in the league right now, and you can fight me about that, but he's the best player in the league. And
well, you're the only one from Toronto in this chat. Go ahead, let's do something different with you. Give me the top 5 Toronto Raptors.
You can't even name 5 of them.
Whoa.
Vince Carter.
Kawhi, Vince Carter.
Kawhi, Vince Carter, Kyle Lowry.
Does Jeremy Lin
Chris Bosh?
Chris Bosh, yeah.
Chris Bosh, can't forget Chris Bosh. And maybe the last one.
It's got to be Del Curry, no? Del Curry, no?
No, what about my man just got traded? Who just got traded? He was good, man.
DeMar DeRozan?
Yeah.
Dog, nobody. 10, but the people in Toronto don't even like DeMar DeRozan.
There's a reason why they traded him.
Hey, if you take away all of Kobe Bryant's skill and charisma, you know what you have? You have DeMar DeRozan. That's what you have.
Oh my God.
So y'all taking Antetokounmpo or Kawhi Leonard?
Oh,
Kawhi.
Greek Freak.
Kawhi.
Oh, you're bugging.
Greek Freak. I'm with you right there, Jamal.
Dog, he took 3 steps and traveled the entire length of the court.
Court.
I don't know if you guys saw that. I'm not lying. That's not an exaggeration. I'm not just bigging it up. It's on YouTube. He took 3 dribbles off a rebound and got to his basket and dunked it. I'm taking Greek Freak over everybody who's playing right now. You kidding me?
Yeah, I'd say the same for sure.
Will
I gotta vote for like the skill guy. Like, I mean, obviously you're talking about athleticism. Obviously, it's weak, but like Kawhi is just next level in terms of skill, man.
Oh yeah, for sure. Definitely.
James Harden is the best scorer ever and the best player in the league.
Whoa.
Yo, all right. Who's in control of this Zoom?
Should I kick Cody out?
Yeah, kick Cody out. Kick Cody out.
Will, I'm just gonna say, if I don't see your face by the end of this, I'm gonna be pretty upset. Like,
bro, all right, hey, I'll show you right now, bro. I mean,
yo, this is happy hour. This isn't an official.
A beard with ranch all in it.
No,
Yeah.
we're good. That's what happy hour's for, man.
That's what we do. This is happy hour. What do you?
This is
Uh,
no. I was going to say because we didn't.
Get happy.
I said it was Will Richardson, but I just want to make sure it's known. The iPhone is Big Will Richardson, offensive lineman for the Jacksonville Jaguars, and partner with Cody on this Sideline Story podcast.
Say hello.
Yeah!
Boom! There you go.
and
I had to represent a little bit real quick, you know.
yeah.
My hair good.
Oh, you look great, bro. All right.
I appreciate it, my guy.
When there's a will, there's a way.
Yes, sir.
I want to ask you a question, Will, really quick.
Hey, Jeff,
No, you all good.
All right.
Yeah, what do you think about Joe Buck and his announcement with the NFL not only not having fans in the stands, but like using like a simulated audience and crowd noise?
Bro, I say, welcome to the future. Like, I really could like you know, like I feel like yes, it's gonna be something that would be totally different, but I mean, I feel like the fans at that point will want to be in touch with us with any kind of way that they can besides just watching us on TV. That will be the best for the fans. So the way I look at it is we get paid to do this. You know, they don't get paid to watch us. They do it for fun. So I feel like if that's what it takes for fans to like enjoy the game, hey, so be it.
For me,
now the crowd noise. I'm sorry, Mike, but the crowd noise, that stuff probably won't affect the players on the field. That's more for the CGI fans, and the noise is for at home. That's not like they're going to pump it through the stadium. So it's going to be like, honestly, it's probably going to sound like a practice. I mean, and they're only doing that, I would assume, because they don't want like the moms and the kids at home to hear all the bone crunching hits and the, you know, no disrespect, Will, but like the cursing. Like these players aren't worried about what they sound like on the field. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so
no doubt. That's the last thing we think about.
Yeah, they got to somehow drown what's happening, not just the language, but the noise. Like it sounds totally. If you've ever gone to a football game live and sat close enough, or gone to like a high school game, I mean, football, it sounds like murder.
Oh, man.
That's exactly what it is.
Did y'all check out that UFC fight, for instance? Those kicks and punches in that fight, it was actually held, I think it was last weekend, but it was here in Jacksonville is where it was being held. And there was no fans. It was just the announcers there. And the kicks really sounded like, you can tell, bone-on-bone contact. Like, it was real bad. So I can just imagine, like, us running 10 miles an hour at each other, you know?
As an athlete, what do you need? Should they be playing music? Like also, because like, wouldn't the defense hear you a little bit more, like without the crowd noise?
Yeah, for sure. I definitely think that would be a problem. I honestly haven't even thought that deep about the whole thing, but I'd say the biggest thing for us would just be, you know, just making sure that the play calling, getting the play calling and stuff in, making sure they don't hear our play calling. We may have to back the huddle up a little bit farther. Maybe even the NFL incorporating more than one person on the field with able to hear having a mic in his ear, you know. So where like, you know, maybe you can have 4 or 5 people with mics and it'll make it easier to relate a message, you know. You never know with the NFL. It's a lot of different things that you could do to make up for that. But I couldn't even tell you right now. There's so many different ideas.
Well, as a fan, whatever you guys do to drown out Joe Buck, I'm cool with.
Hey, don't disrespect the God like that, man. You kidding me? Joe Buck's the best to ever do it, man.
Keep eating.
Yeah, keep eating. Thanks, Will. Appreciate it.
Oh no, y'all good. I'm still
not to switch gears, but so baseball looks like it'll probably be the first game or the first sport back, right? Basketball is still kind of weak.
NASCAR this weekend, baby.
He said sport. He said sport. He didn't say.
Oh, my bad. Sports. He meant sports. I'm sorry. Not driving around in circles. Sorry.
I know that there's a big deal with players and getting paid right now, but has there been any talk about fans, no fans, limited capacity? Has there been any talk about that along the line?
It seems like it's going to be no fans. It definitely seems like it's going to be no fans. And I'm glad you brought that up, though, because like the Blake Snell thing has been a big deal right now. With him, I think he was on a Twitch or something, basically going out and saying that unless he gets his like full salary for the year, he doesn't think he should play because he's risking his life and all those kind of things.
But he's right though. So think about it. So it's one of those situations where I've always sided with the players and not the billionaires. But in this case, so if any sport, so we're talking about baseball, if when these players negotiate their contracts, they negotiate it based on the CBA saying, hey, this is the guaranteed money we're supposed to get. Now, if MLB somehow, for some reason, just makes a shit ton of money for whatever reason, the players don't see any extra of that. That all goes to the sport. So why would they want to take less? You know, that's not their fault.
No, I get that. There's a few things that go into that, though. For one, this is not a normal year. You can't think of this as like a normal season, a normal year. All that goes out the window.
Hey, Ryan, take 25% of your salary since you're working from home now.
Am I going to work? Am I only going to work 25% of the hours? Because that's the
players aren't doing that. The players aren't doing that.
The season's going to already be cut in half. The season's already going to be cut in half, so they're only going to be playing half the games.
But what one major point here, and normally I would agree if this is the first time Blake Snell came out and actually spoke about playing during this, but before they talked about even cutting pay, he just wanted to play. And when this all first broke, the coronavirus, he said, it's a little bit, something along the lines, I'm paraphrasing, it's a little bit ridiculous. I'd rather go out there and risk my life, something like this, and just play. I think it was, if I get it, I get it. So let me just play. So the fact that he's using the platform of, I'm risking my life, I should get full salary, is what I have the issue with.
Well, that's because you're not allowed to have an individual thought in America anymore. People,
that's what it is, though.
He's blatantly switching his narrative from if I get it, I get it, let me play, to, oh, you want to take my money? Well, I'm risking my life going out here playing for you. It is what it is.
But those are two separate arguments. If you're worried about risking your life that much, then it shouldn't matter how much you're getting paid. It wouldn't be worth it to you. Because quite frankly, even if it's 25%, and I looked up his contract for this year, it's $7 million. Even if it's 25% of $7 million, that's a hell of a lot more than people who are actually going out and risking their lives.
I'm not even arguing.
Responders and all that are making.
I'm not arguing what's right or wrong. I'm saying it makes sense from both sides. I understand what the players are saying, and I'm also understanding what the owners are also saying. And it's a hard.
I do get it. You know, I can see both sides, but it's when millionaires start arguing about money is when it becomes a problem.
Stop. It's when billionaires stop paying millionaires, in my eyes. Like, all these owners, they got money for days. If anything, just pay your players.
That's easy for us to say because we don't have any money. Like it's
no. It's billionaires versus millionaires. So it's the same thing as.
So when Josh Harris and I remember when Josh Harris came out. And we talked about this on one of the shows with Corey, and me and Corey got into it about this. You know, when the coronavirus thing broke out, they shoved a microphone in Mark Cuban's face and was like, hey, the league shut down. And this is 30 seconds after they shut the league down. And he was like, yo, we're going to pay everybody without any sort of plan. Then a few weeks later,
because he can.
But that's what you can do when you're a goof like that. But then Josh Harris with the Sixers actually took a step back and said, hey, it's okay to have a plan. If this happens, we're going to cut 20% of the yearly employees, not the players, not anybody, not the hot dog vendors who were contracted out, but like my employees, we're going to take 20% off so maybe we can save some of this stuff. Then he got killed for it because you're taking away money from people. And then the NBA turned around and did it to everybody else anyway. So, and nobody apologized to Josh Harris for it. So when these billionaires, like, you have to save money somewhere, which is why, like I said at the beginning, I usually side with the players, but in this instance, I'm going to side with the billionaires because if you don't play the games, nobody's going to make any money. And
another thing on that point, if you're playing in empty stadiums, that's already reduced revenue as it is.
Right.
So that's something we need.
Keep in mind the guy's a pitcher too, so he's a starting pitcher. That means if he's lucky.
He already plays half the games.
He's already starting 30 games, right? So now he's starting 15. So now he's complaining about, 15 games, and I understand about the health risk, but we know obviously this is not a health risk for him. That's not an issue for him because if he's already using that as excuse to make more money, then we know it's about the money, or else he wouldn't play at all. If he really was concerned about the health, he would say, you know what?
That's what
I'm not going to play.
Well, it's also the fact that the way they're going to start this is he won't be around his family. And like, at least during home games or when you're in your hometown, you could at least be around your family. I feel for that too. Cause like Top Frazier was like, I have a house in Texas. Right. And he's from Tom's River. And I was chatting with him and he pretty much said, I have a house in Texas, but I'm not going to take my family there. So a guy's perspective I want on this is Cody's, honestly. Like, what do you think about athlete versus owner versus Corona?
I mean, I think it's a fine line. Like, I see both sides actually, because I think that, like you said, they do have bukus of money. So at the end of the day, I think that they're not the ones that are hurting in the same sense as everybody else. But I also see what Jamal is saying. Like, you got to have a plan. Like, you can't just be like running like things are perfectly normal, because they're not. And so I see both sides. Normally, I'm the same way. Like, hey, I'm siding with the players here. Like, I think that the players are the ones that produce the product, so therefore they should be compensated. Now, obviously, revenue and stuff is not going to be the same if there's no fans, but I don't know. I think the owners need to make some kind of accommodations. Like, I don't know what you do, honestly. Like, this is just something we've never seen, but I'd side with the players if I had to pick a side.
Yeah, I think you just got to look at it black and white. Like, it's don't treat it any different than a nurse or a doctor. You have a job. There's an associated risk with that. You might put your family at risk, but this is your job. If you want to get paid, go do your job. And then if it is, you're not playing as many games. So like my wife got her hours got cut 25%. So therefore her salary got cut 25%. Was she happy about it? No, she still had to go into work 75% of the time. The risk was still the same while she was there, but that's what everybody is dealing with. So even at that level with my wife, all the way up to these millionaires and billionaires, I don't think the formula should change. It's a percentage of what they're doing, so it's a percentage of their paycheck.
Yeah, exactly.
I'd love to hear from Jeff, only because he coordinated his shirt and his hat. Awesome.
Yeah.
Today.
It was an accident. I was out for a run when I caught you guys on, so I got back to the house.
Man, Jeff is a trooper, bro.
That was no accident, man. That's some good match.
Oh, I promise.
Jeff is automatically swag.
And I never have shit coordinated. I'm loving it because I've been bringing this up today with some guys I did a podcast with earlier this week, and this is conversation. Like, this is the exact same things I brought up, so I'm loving your takes on it. Well, I would ask this real quick. If the guy that brought this up and said he didn't want to play made league minimum, would it change the way people debated the subject?
Absolutely.
It might, but at the same time, league minimum is still way more than most people make. Probably all the first responders make.
Understood.
So it's
I totally agree with that. Once we go down that road, then there's no coming back. My wife's a nurse. I totally get it. Like, what she does and what I do in a day aren't the same thing. Agreed.
The only thing I would players say too. Mentally, if we don't get sports back, I'm gonna lose it.
Well, that's the other. Okay, so that's the other part of it, right? So like we're hearing from the top one. All right, so we're hearing from the top 1%, right? Making decisions for the grunt guys, and we talked about this on the show. At the end of the day, the billionaires could just grab all of us in this Zoom chat and we can go play for the Mets or the Yankees or the, Cubs or whoever. And
it might happen with you guys.
But honestly, people are so starved. This is why the players kind of don't have the leverage. People are so this isn't like a typical lockout off season. People are so starved for sports. They would that's why they have these farm systems, man. They could tell these players, fine, then don't make anything. This billionaires, we'll get together and somehow cut out your guaranteed dollars, and we'll just bring up these farm system guys and pay them less. And guess what? People are going to watch it because we're the fucking Cubs. We're not the fucking – I don't know who the best Cubs players are, but, we're not the New York Pete Alonsos or the New York Aaron Judges. We're the Yankees. And whoever's wearing this uniform –
Jeremy, I half agree with you on this one, because as much as it is about the team, it is about those big names too. You got to think of the revenue lines coming in. Now, people are going to pay to watch, or the ad space is going to be there to watch your favorite player on the TV, your jersey sales, your apparel, everything else. They can't sell tickets for in the stands, so they're going to need that revenue line of those specific big name players.
If the Yankees, if after 20 games with some farm players and some replacement players and the Yankees are in the number one spot, do you think people are going to care, or do you think they're going to be like,
the
Yankees are number one?
Year. The Yankees are winning with the farm players. That's the injuries.
That's
but people they're going to be happy that they're winning, but at the end of the day, I mean, the fans want to see those big names, who they signed in the offseason.
Some little guys can become big names.
Somebody's going to start hitting home runs. Somebody's going to hit home runs.
All right, let's pump the brakes and stop talking about reality and go into fictional.
Okay.
I want to hear everybody's, like, if you had a captain of your team, sports movie, like, who would that guy be? And you can't pick Michael Jordan from Space Jam. because if you do
Tarshan.
that,
So it's a fictional
captain. We can pick anybody from any sport to star in this
to
movie.
be the leader.
Exactly.
Okay.
Like
All right. Okay.
yeah, as your go-to guy from any movie, sports movie.
Are we allowed to pick coaches?
You could do that.
You're saying leader of a team. That's what you're saying. Leader of a team.
Yeah. Your go-to guy, your top dog. And it's got to be like, but it's got to be fake. It can't be like they made a movie. Like LeBron's got a movie already as a high schooler. It's got to be a fake movie.
You must have somebody on mind, Mike. Can you go first? Who's?
Yeah, Mike, you're no. Listen, Mike, you're quarterbacking this thing. We don't have a lot of time, so you started it. Yeah, you started. You pick people and go.
Mother effing Bud.
Oh my Lord! You should have went last. You should have went last.
That's my dog. Air Bud.
All right, I'll go ahead and quarterback this thing. We'll start with Ryan. Go ahead, Ryan. Since you're my first box. Go ahead.
All right. Yeah. If I'm gonna pick someone who's gonna inspire everybody, who's gonna get everybody moving, I'm picking Rocky.
Nice. Okay.
I'm picking Rocky. He's gonna get in there. He's gonna pump you up. He's gonna get you to run through a brick wall if it
sure
takes
is.
it.
Best Italian racist from Philly I ever met.
Kensington, baby. Bert. Who you got,
So
Bert?
I'm picking a fictional character to be the captain of my favorite
Yeah,
sports
like
team?
you're down. There's like 5 seconds left. You need somebody at that last timeout to get it done for you. Who's it going to be?
You know me. I'm a big Marvel. I'm a big superhero guy. I'm gonna go with Thor. I want Thor back there.
No, sports movie, man.
It's got to be a sports movie.
Yeah.
I mean, Thor's a good pick.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I picked Thor too.
I picked Wonder Woman.
Okay, I see what you're saying. I was confused by the question.
Why would I pick Air Bud?
If you could pick
Thor was an option. Why would I pick Air Bud?
Being Thor, he has the hammer. Air Bud has nice golden hair, nice paws.
In America.
I picked the golden retriever, and you picked the God of Thunder. Like, and you thought that was okay. Like, what is
Guys,
going
he was
on?
a gladiator. It works.
Yeah.
It completely worked.
Stop.
I don't even know. I couldn't tell you.
Yeah. So we'll skip him. Go next.
All right, Ty, go ahead. Ty, you're the next box on my thing.
I had to look his name up because it was definitely from the League of the not a League of Their Own, but the jail movie. But
Longest Yard.
Longest Yard, the new one with Adam
gonna pick
Sandler.
that.
Adam Sandler. He came in there and turned a bunch of thugs and put them into an organized sport, and they dominated.
Great pick.
Nice.
You took
Cody.
mine, man.
Oh, about to say, Cody, you were next too. I could skip you if you want.
Yeah. Come back to me.
All
Let me
right,
think.
Regs, you're next.
So we all know the Mighty Ducks movie, right? So in the
Mhm.
original one, the two guys that I don't know what country they were from, they were like they had some kind of accent. I couldn't make it out. Maybe Russian, I don't know. But they took out Banks, who was a star player of the Mighty Ducks, just because their coach, who took it way too much seriously to begin with, told him to take him out. He was like, take out Banks. And they took him out, and their response was, he's like, what did you do? He's like, my job. He's like, I did my job. Now, those are people that get it done. Like, these people talk about 10-year-olds.
Yeah.
10-year-old kid took out this kid Banks very violently, but you tell them to do something, they got it done. I mean, they didn't care. Winning was their top priority. That's why. They didn't care about anything else. So I'm going with those two kids. I don't know their names, but I think you know what I'm talking about, right, guys?
I do.
It's
I
at the end of the movie.
because it was just on the other day.
They check him, and his neck like breaks in the post. It's like very violent. Very
All right.
violent.
Mike was next on my box, but he already ruined the segment with his first pick. So Corey, you're next. Corey and Will, who you got?
Yo, me personally, I have to go with Gordon Bombay on my team. I want that man to coach my team. The man, he gets a DUI. He sleeps with one of his kids, his players' parents, and he still wins championships. That's a man after my own heart right there, Gordon Bombay.
Yeah.
That's character. That's character right there.
Right.
Will.
I really can't decide. I don't know. I guess one of my favorite movies. I just have to go based off a movie and just like off a character I like. But in Gridiron Gang, Willie and Gridiron Gang. I don't know if y'all ever seen that.
Yes.
He was just a
saw that
dog,
about a
bro,
billion
just like
times.
his mentality, and just like how he just like I love seeing like just people change, like change their life around, especially when they like allow football to do it. So just you can go from just living that street life to like even if you're playing for a prison football team, to go out there and just come together with a group. I think that was just dope, and I pick him to run my team.
Nice.
And yeah, we have two Wills, by the way. We skipped the first Will. We'll jump in.
Oh yeah, my bad.
There's two Wills.
I'm the lesser of the two, so it's completely.
Nah, bro.
Yeah.
I'm going coach. I'm going Nick Nolte blue chips on this one.
Nick Nolte.
The man who had the balls to lie to Larry Bird and say he's a Southern Baptist when he clearly wasn't. Fly cheese steal. Almost had the championship.
Nick Nolte.
That's fantastic.
NWB.
Nick Nolte in any spot is good. Who is next? Oh, NWB. You next, bro.
Now, I was going to actually go with Herman Boone from Remember the Titans, but this is a fictional thing, so he's out.
That's
so I'll go with Ham from The Sandlot.
Oh, he's gonna be on my show.
He's a young kid. He's a young kid, but he's got a heart of gold. He's got the heart of a champion. What's not to like?
Love it. Love it.
I like this move.
Yeah. Jeff, you
go to
up.
MikeXSteve.com and you'll see that episode soon.
Mike couldn't even keep it in. I thought I was trying to keep it a secret, Mike, and now he's told the whole goddamn world.
You know Mike right now. You can't hold it in.
Patrick will be, a.k.a. Ham, will be on my show.
That's wonderful. I thought NWB was going to steal it, but I slid in there. Man, I'm taking Squints from Sandlot.
Oh, my God.
Squints,
anybody not be on my show.
Anybody that can close on Wendy Peppercorn.
Oh, yeah. Jeez.
That dude got it done.
Yeah, he closes deals.
He risked drowning. He risked drowning.
Paul Norris.
You're risking your life out there to get that kiss, that CPR fake kiss. I mean, you're willing to win. You're willing to do anything to win the game. So I'm down with Squints over there. Matt Fisher, you up?
All right, Jake Taylor from Major League.
Oh,
Tom Berenger.
Good call.
Yes.
It's a good call.
Nice.
What was he, like 46 when he retired?
I don't know.
In that movie, he was old, man. His knees were giving out, and he still legged out that last play.
Yeah, dude. Still made it happen. He
Yes,
got
he
the
did,
team
man.
together, baby. He rallied everyone.
You know who I really wanted to pick, honestly, was Willie Beeman. I really wanted to say Willie Beeman.
He was on my list. I thought of it, Willie Beeman.
Al Pacino won that game, not Willie Beeman, bro. Everybody.
Yeah, but he just was saying all that swag though. Like I just want him to just I want him to be my quarterback.
Yeah.
Listen, that was awesome. It was an awesome happy hour. Oh,
Did we get Cody? Did we get Cody?
I don't know.
We skipped him. My bad, brother. Go ahead.
To give Cody a shot.
Yeah, my bad, Cody.
I'm torn between two. I might have to say Buttermaker from Bad News Bears or my man Ricky Bobby. If you ain't first,
I was thinking of him, bro.
He's motivational as fuck. I'm ready to. That's how we started this network. I think we were watching Ricky Bobby, and we were pumped up.
I saw Alo for a second there.
There's so many of them.
Did you see her?
I saw Alo.
All right.
He's out here serving me Presidente.
Oh my God, that's awesome. I picked Sidney Dean from Wesley Snipes' character from White Man Can't Jump. If you can, if you can hustle the hood and do everything he was able to do and
not get
shot. I mean, listen, man, you can lead me to Game 7 with titles and all that other stuff. So I'm gonna go with Sidney Dean.
So somebody
go ahead, Mike.
No, somebody on Facebook said that the XFL was successful with no names. They were, but now they're not. So,
but they're not successful. They had excellent ratings. They were going to get better players. People were going to wait. They weren't sure what the XFL was going to be. It was definitely a success. They were not out of business because they weren't good. They were out of business because they were an upstart company that started in the hole and could not survive not playing games. Had nothing to do with their level of play. I hate that. I hate that notion that it's out there. I feel really bad for the XFL.
But there is heat though, but in terms of how they handled this, how they handled ending the season, and how they handled. I guess isn't the owner getting sued for not ending the season correctly?
No, he's getting sued because Vince McMahon lost $300 million, and he's trying to recoup it any way he can. He's not getting sued because there wasn't any negligence. What were you supposed to do? Everybody got shut down.
Yeah. Sorry,
Vince, that your fucking performance center's in Florida, which is the mecca of sports right now, and you get to get bailed out. Because you're able to do your wrestling shows in Florida. Like XFL doesn't have that luxury. So,
Will, if there was a minor league, NFL, like if there was an opportunity for you to not go through college, and would you have ever thought of taking that path? Like honestly,
yeah, I definitely, especially with the pay and everything and how that works. I guess it kind of goes to like if you look at basketball and the whole G League thing and how guys are going there. Well, guys are like, hey, man, we're going to college. We're going to college to do all this schooling. Why go there for 1 year? Why not, if I'm going to go somewhere for 1 year, go somewhere where I can get paid and do this? So, yeah, I would definitely say if I was a guy who was having trouble getting into the league, I'm going to go to the XFL as my next best thing to give me that chance, And I feel like
more than the money for a lot of these guys is what people don't realize. They still want that chance to play at the NFL. Like, that's bigger than the money. That's bigger than all that. Like, that's just a dream. Like, and I feel like the XFL was putting itself in the place to be. Well,
they got people signed. People got signed from XFL.
Exactly, and like you saying, Ty, like I said, like the biggest thing is people want to make it to the NFL still. Then this was that level under it, like that you could get there. So definitely, I would definitely say if it came to the point where I was out of the NFL, I would definitely be in the XFL just because I love football and I'm trying to get back here. For sure.
Right. Agreed.
Will, before we end here, I just have to ask you one question. In your professional opinion, who has a better mustache, Gardner Minshew or Shahid Khan?
Oh, man. See, I got to go with the person that paid me. Hey, Shah Khan.
I was going to say answer.
That's correct.
Right answer.
That's correct.
Yeah. One last thing, because you guys are the special guests, and I have to ask this question. It's become a staple of the show, even though I've only asked it once, and it's very important. You ready?
Let's go.
What's up?
Pancakes or waffles?
Pancakes.
I'm a waffle guy.
Hey, you welcome to my house anytime. Will, you're never allowed on the show.
You're offensive lineman, though. It's pancake.
Yes,
it's not a stat.
That's
why he likes pancakes.
It's crazy. Me and Cuddy was just talking about it. I was like, yeah, I'm more of a pancake guy.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Oh, Lord.
No, it's because of pancake blocks, right? It's because of the pancake blocks.
Oh,
right?
my God. All right, listen.
It's
Hey,
like, I don't know. I just feel like things like when you put something in a waffle, it just doesn't sit right in a waffle. When you put in a pancake, just the chocolate chips, the berries, anything you put in, right.
Yeah.
I'll say it straight up. Eat clean, bro. I've been getting their banana chocolate chip pancakes. Straight banging.
Don't promote something that's not.
Yeah. No free rides. Man.
Mike, you're the last person to say that. You're the last person to say that.
Hopsy is paying us. So everybody go to hopsy.com. No, but seriously, look, this was awesome. Thank you, Will. Thank you, Cody.
No doubt, man.
Yes, sir.
We're gonna send this out to everybody. Congrats on your new podcast. We're here. I'm here for you whenever you need it, and I can't wait to watch you on an NFL field. And
yes, sir.
I've never met you, but you're like my best friend, bro.
Oh, my Lord.
I appreciate y'all, my man.
Thank you, fellas.
Hey, NWB, Jeff, Matt, Cody, everybody, thank you for joining us on this happy hour. Come back next week.
Appreciate it, man.
Thanks,
All right, everybody, thanks for watching.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, Jeff.
Thank you.
Right on, guys.
You guys are killing it.
Cheers, guys.